Hello everyone, in our last lecture we talked about what prompt is and how to use it with Stable Diffusion. You may have thought that writing a prompt is as simple as having a normal conversation, where you tell Stable Diffusion what you want and it generates the image for you. But that's not entirely true. Today we will talk about the structure of a prompt and how Stable Diffusion interprets it. A complete prompt structure can be complex and overwhelming, so we will break it down into 3 sections for easier learning: the basic structure, the intermediate structure, and the advanced structure. So let's start with the basic structure of a prompt. Typically, a basic prompt structure consists of 4 modifiers: medium, subject, detail, and resolution. Each modifier has a specific purpose and importance in creating a complete prompt. The medium modifier describes the style or medium of the image, such as watercolor or oil painting. The subject modifier is the primary focus of the image, like a beautiful woman sitting by the lake. The detail modifier adds more specific details, such as wearing a red dress or playing with a dog. Finally, the resolution modifier determines the size and quality of the image. And the order of the modifiers is also essential. Stable Diffusion considers the first and last modifiers to be the most crucial, followed by the middle ones. If a prompt is too long, Stable Diffusion may ignore some of the middle modifiers, so it's essential to understand this rule. Alright, let's talk about the first modifier, medium. The mediums that are commonly used include oil painting, watercolor, sketch, charcoal drawing, and digital painting. It is usually placed at the beginning of the text prompt as it has a significant impact on the result. The medium of an image refers to the material or format that the image is created on or displayed through. In photography, for example, the medium may refer to the type of film or digital sensor used to capture the image, while in painting or drawing, the medium may refer to the type of paint or paper used. Different mediums can have a significant impact on the appearance and interpretation of an image. And you can see, the difference in medium between pencil sketching and stone carving is significant, impacting the process, appearance, and interpretation of the artwork. Pencil sketching is a portable, flexible, and versatile medium used for drawing, while stone carving is a durable, physically demanding, and dramatic medium used for sculpting. For Stable Diffusion, the prompts located at the beginning and end of the input text are usually more important, while those closer to the middle are considered less important. This means that if a prompt is too complex, the Stable Diffusion model may lose some of the prompts located in the middle when generating the image. Therefore, if some prompts are very important, I suggest using the weighting method we learned in the previous class to increase their weight. The weight can be set to 1 to 1.5 for important prompts, or reduce the weight of less important words from 0.1 to 0.9. Now let's talk about the main subject of an image, which is typically made up of a noun and a verb. It could be a person, an object, a situation, or an action. This subject plays a crucial role in the entire image by capturing the audience's attention and conveying the main message. The commonly used subjects in creating prompts include, but are not limited to, people, animals, objects, landscapes, and abstract concepts. The subject usually comes after the medium and is positioned closely to it, emphasizing the focal point of the image. When we talk about the main subject of a scene, it's usually made up of a noun and a verb. The noun can be a who or a what, and the verb is the do what. This combination of noun and verb is perfect for storytelling. For example, a cute Labrador puppy playing on the grass. These are all the images I generated by replacing different subjects. Oh, by the way, that Gundam robot looks really cool. Alright, let's talk about detail. The detail of an image refers to how much stuff you can see in the picture. If there are a lot of things to look at and notice, the image has a high level of detail. If there are only a few things to look at, it has a low level of detail. The level of detail can affect how interesting or impactful the image is. The level of detail in an image can vary greatly depending on factors such as the resolution of the image, the quality of the camera or equipment used to capture it, and the complexity of the subject. Basically, if you want to generate an image with certain characteristics or qualities, you can input keywords that relate to those characteristics. For example, if you input Canon DSLR and Canon M33 as your keywords, Stable Diffusion will look for images in its database that were captured using those specific camera models. It will then analyze the similarities between those images and generate a new image that shares those same qualities. Pretty neat, right? Images with high levels of detail can be very rich and visually engaging. Such images may contain intricate patterns, textures, or fine lines that can be seen clearly when viewed at a close distance or when magnified. On the other hand, images with low levels of detail may appear more simplistic or abstract, with fewer visual elements and a more limited range of colors or tones. When using these keywords, you can combine them in any way you want. But remember one important principle, and that is not to make your prompt too long. Let's moving on to resolution. The resolution of an image is basically how clear and detailed it looks. It's like when you watch a video. If it's blurry or pixelated, it's hard to see what's going on. But if it's clear and sharp, you can see everything clearly. Resolution is determined by the number of pixels in an image. Pixels are tiny dots that make up the picture, and the more pixels there are, the clearer the image will be. As a general rule, we usually put the resolution at the end of a prompt sequence. Both the beginning and end parts of the prompt are crucial for Stable Diffusion. When we need a high-resolution image, we typically add a description of the resolution at the end of the prompt. Now that you have a relatively deep understanding of the basic structure of a prompt, let's take a look at some specific examples. As I mentioned earlier, we can combine these modifiers in the order we want them to appear, separated by commas, to create a complete prompt. Here, my image medium is pencil sketch, and I added a modifier of 1.4 to emphasize its importance. The main subject of the image is a Labrador puppy lying on a bed, and the image is complex with many details. The resolution is 8K. So now we have the image on the right, a pencil sketch of a Labrador puppy lying down. You can clearly see the sketchy strokes on the image. You may notice that even though I used the keyword bed, Stable Diffusion did not generate a bed in the image. This is because the image size was set to 512x112, and Stable Diffusion believed that a bed would not fit in such a small space, so it selectively ignored the keyword bed. If we increase the resolution, say to 768x512, we can significantly increase the chances of the appearance of the keyword bed in the generated image. Let's take another look at this image. With almost the same prompt, I made a slight modification to the medium modifier, and we got this cute wooden sculpture of a puppy, as you can see. This an adorable and charming work of art that captures the playful and endearing nature of these beloved puppies. Carved from a smooth piece of wood, the sculpture features a lifelike rendition of a puppy, complete with its playful pose, floppy ears, and wide, curious eyes. Well, whether as a decorative piece or a heartfelt gift for a dog lover, this cute wooden sculpture of a puppy is sure to bring a smile to anyone's face. Alright, let's take a look at how we can generate a photo quality image using Stable Diffusion. In this example, I'm using the medium of a photograph and adding some specific attributes that are unique to photos. As you can see, I've included several keywords with a particular emphasis on shot by Canon M50. I mentioned the Canon M50 earlier, and here I'm adding shot by to emphasize that I don't necessarily need the camera itself to be in the picture. Instead, I just need an image of similar quality to what the Canon M50 can produce. You may notice the use of the underscore here. This symbol is used to connect two words together into a single entity, so as to avoid any confusion for stable diffusion. That is all for today's lecture. You can now go back and try using these techniques to creatively combine and generate an image that you are satisfied with on Google Colab. As you deepen your learning, we will teach you how to deploy stable diffusion to your local computer. Then we will introduce you to various useful features of stable diffusion, such as image to image, in-painting, out-painting, upscaler, control net, and many other valuable knowledge. Great! I hope you enjoyed today's lecture and learned something new about Stable Diffusion prompt. In our next lecture, we will dive into intermediate prompts and focus on the artist modifier, which is a very important aspect of Stable Diffusion. We will learn how to use it and explore its effects on the generated images. At the end of the class, we will also provide some valuable resources for studying Stable Diffusion artists. Thank you for attending to our course, and I will see you in the next lecture.